All right, everyone. Some preliminary artwork for Kamala Harris' 2028 campaign, which everyone pretty much expects her to run, has been leaked. And it's worse than you would expect. Take a look at the image, link in the description. I did not at first believe that this was actually real. At first, I figured that it was trolling or something like that. No, it's literally real. What do you see there? Now, it's supposed to depict five dudes standing around in, well, a pentagram, I suppose, or circle or whatever, holding hands. What does it really look like, though? It looks like them jerking off one another, actually. This was actually preliminarily greenlit by Kamala Harris' staff, and the only thing that I could think of that even comes close to this within political advertising, because this apparently was not meant to be made public. The only other thing that I could think of on the same basic level was Elizabeth Warren's meme team. And I would note that both Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris tend to act like deer in the headlights when they're asked questions, including by people that are being completely amenable to their positions. This is a problem. The problem is not female politicians, as the liberals would have you believe. The problem is dumb female politicians. Kamala Harris is a tard. Elizabeth Warren is a tard. Hillary Clinton's not a tard, she's just evil. And so you have this problem over and over again where they keep trying to jury rig somebody in there as president of the United States just for the concept of them having a vagina. But really, it doesn't matter that you have a certain pair of genitals. Also, I thought that gender was flexible and stuff like that, so, we can get into that argument another time. This is probably the most insane political ad that I've ever seen. And the fact that it almost became literally public, that it was actually going to be utilized as campaign fodder, is pretty nuts, honestly. And those dudes are clearly fondling one another's nuts. See, that's the whole problem. This is not the sort of thing that you would associate with an intelligently run, serious campaign. This has been Kamala's problem the entire time. Say what you will about Joe Biden. At the very least, there was a little bit of intelligence behind his attempt to run. And that's why he won in 2020. There was literal intelligence, literal intel agencies working for him, and things like that. With Kamala Harris, it's more like I have a feeling that it's sort of like the Hillary Clinton effect. I don't think that the Democrats want her to win. I think that if she were to get in there, they would be very, very upset. Number one, they would know she's likely to lose. And number two, were she to win, they wouldn't really want to be working for her. Would you really want to work for Kamala Harris? Asking the liberals, non-sarcastically, would you like to work for her? Would you like to be a staffer for Kamala Harris? How much would you have to be paid to be able to put up with her bullshit? I would say that cap would be pretty high, honestly, in my opinion, for most people, because Kamala Harris is completely insufferable. The same is true. It's the Hillary Clinton effect. Hillary Clinton, technically speaking, won the primaries in the election in 2008. Who got chosen? Well, was it Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama? Oh, it was Barack. Yeah, there's a reason why, because he was more personable. And so the superdelegates didn't decide to side with her because they said, well, do we really want President Hillary? That doesn't sound like a fun time. Doesn't sound like a good idea. And so they kept her out. They stymied her in the primaries. Then, of course, she runs later, loses against Trump, and now her political career is basically making MSNBC appearances. Kamala Harris, this campaign art, I realize Kamala herself didn't draw this picture. She herself didn't, actually create this campaign ad, nor did she greenlight it, by the way. This has been leaked. but she did hire the person who thought that this was a good idea. And that's really the problem. What we see right now, for example, under the Trump administration, is a series of fairly good hirings. This is better than what we had in 2016. So that's a good thing. You see, for example, a very good health secretary, RFK Jr. We have a very good uh, DNI. We have a very good uh, Secretary of State. Marco Rubio has actually done a much better than expected job, so we have a good hire there too. We have a series at Tulsi. We have a series of good hires within the administration. If you cannot even hire a staffer competent enough not to know why this particular picture would be absolutely hysterical, I mean, admittedly, but really, really bad for your campaign, if you're incapable of hiring the right people for the job, why should we hire you for the presidency? I think that it would be a bad decision. Voting for Kamala Harris, hiring her for the presidency, would be worse than her mistake hiring whoever the hell made this cartoon. Again, when I first saw it, I didn't want to believe that it was real. I couldn't believe that it was real. Like, this is some sort of meme or something like that. But it's not a meme. It actually is real. Yeah, somebody in her inner circle decided that this was actually a decent idea to be considered for campaign fodder. Um, Looking at her mental state, I'm wondering if she might not be further gone than Biden, actually, after looking at this. Because it literally is that bad. It's worse than you would expect by far. That's about all. Peace out.